for at least that. Got rid of the shield. Let's see how that works. Welcome everyone to Behind the Scenes. Just checking everything. I guess so far so good. Alright, we're just inviting our guest, as per usual. Sent, good to go. We'll wait for them to join. So today is one of many episodes recorded. Just a little insight. But today we're gonna do more kind of a like businessy. It's kind of, I don't do the tie thing. I don't want to get back into that, but kind of did the sweater vest, kind of, you know, but kept it cash, keep everything good. Yeah, that's all I got. I think that's should be everything. Some water. You just see all the fun stuff in the background. That's kind of cool, right? Weird not having the camera here. Kind of have to get used to this. We'll see how that works. We'll just see. Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Everybody's in bed and enjoying their sweet dreams?
Yes, my angels, I put them down a little bit ago. It was a race to bedtime tonight, but everyone's happy. We had a good day, so.
Good. So we got video going just as BTS for all the fun people that want to watch a little bit of the setup and stuff like that. So that so you're on, but you're not on yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you have any questions real quick before we get started, or...
No, I don't really think so. I'm just, I have a couple things written down, and
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. The coolest thing, I saved the Tales, the Tales for the end.
Oh, okay.
We could talk about it whenever it comes up organically, but I kind of will spell it out and be like, hey, you talked about this, was that the test of your life, or whatever the case may be, so
Okay.
It just kind of helps wrap things up. Other than that, free game.
Okay, yeah, cool. Because what I love about what you're doing is it speaks so perfectly to what I've experienced. Like, so kind of like Tales in general is like an outline for my life.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool. I mean, I do have to admit it, as an actor, we steal things all the time, or we politely borrow them.
Correct.
And so the concept of that was borrowed from the Actor Studio with James Lipton. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2020, but he was the host of the class and the show, where he had 10 questions that he would ask people, every actor, every celebrity that was on there, the same 10 questions.
Cool.
And it was like, what's your favorite food? What's your least favorite food? What's your favorite, noise? What's your favorite curse word? If there's a heaven and you get there, what does God say to you? Type of thing.
Wow.
So that's what the idea came from. And I'm like, I don't want to steal those questions. I got to come up with my own. So.
No, this is perfect. I love the acronym. Or it's perfect.
So, all right, we'll do like maybe 2 seconds of silence, and we'll jump in.
Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Cursology. Today's special guest is one of the strong women in life that is setting her own path and resetting paths and doing her own thing, which I think is so super important to have people of all paths in your life and all different journeys. So without further ado, I would like to invite my friend, Miss Lindsay Pollock.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. Thank you, Chris, so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be a part of this new journey that you're on.
Absolutely. Yeah, you were one of the first people I thought of when it comes to having, things change for you for the good, for the bad, to mix it up and that whole strong persona, because we met working at Disney.
It's true. It's true. A long time ago now. Goodness.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I don't date ourselves, but yeah, it may be long in date, but it doesn't feel like it was that long
No,
ago.
it doesn't. Not at all.
So I'll let you kind of explain, get
Okay.
into your story and your journey, but the main thing is you are founder, is that a correct word, of the Women of Character?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So explain what that is, first of all, I guess.
Yeah, so I have a couple different businesses. I guess now I'm a multiple business owner. I think I'm definitely on the path to becoming a serial entrepreneur, as they call it.
I like it.
It's always been a part of me to own my own business. So I have, like I said, a couple different businesses that I manage and own now. But what I'm focusing on at the moment, one of them is called Women of Character. And we have our Instagram, and I'm working on a website for all of that to do women's coaching. So what we focus on is we focus on women who have seemingly lost themselves in life from some type of change. So that can be motherhood that really changes a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a job change. Myself, I'm divorced. That changed me. A job or career change, that changes somebody. A grief, loss. So any woman who has gone through significant change can find herself in this place of, wait a minute, who am I? What do I want?
Right.
So at Women of Character, I help women answer those questions so that they can dream again.
I like that. And you are also a mother, correct?
Correct. I'm a single mom of 2. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so your journey is through helping others through your experience, which
absolutely
fits perfect. I mean, I feel like we have a lot of people in the world and life, and it's great if they're experts in things, but I feel like it's even more so important and hits better and harder when somebody has gone through something, and then you're helping people out.
Yeah, Women of Character started pretty organically. And we might jump into this more later, and like we talked about, you can ask me different questions later, but
sure.
But I found myself as a newer single mom of 2, an infant and a toddler. And I asked myself, I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I asked myself, what do I know how to do that I can still be fully available to my children?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was hoping to be more of a stay-at-home mom, though I was still working.
Okay.
I was like, what do I know how to do? Well, at the time, I knew how to be a princess through the past jobs that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I asked myself, what do I know how to do? Well, perform and, act. And
right.
So I started an entertainment company.
Oh, nice. What's your company called?
It's Once Upon a Party.
Oh,
we
cool.
specialize in character entertainment, though we're branching out and doing a lot of other things now, which is very exciting.
Nice.
But in a matter of 6 months, I doubled my income, paid off all my debt, bought a home. It was very life-changing, and I organically started posting that journey on, a new Instagram page, because I knew I always wanted to write a book at some point in my life,
okay.
Far off in the future.
Right.
And then I had women reach out to me. How did you change the game for yourself? How did you, do that? How did you get where you are now? And so what I realized is there's a need here. People are hurting. The world is bleeding. How can I help?
Yeah. And that's brave of you, first of all. So congratulations on taking that step, and thank you for taking that step. But it's also so times are changing. Mental health, mental awareness, mental health awareness even, is so important across the board. And I feel like even if you are struggling yourself to get through something, you can find it in others. Hey, this is the same journey, or let's just talk, or, nowadays even strangers, so
Yeah,
people coming to you to say, you've done this, how did you do it?
yes.
Did you feel it was more of a need for yourself, or was it more of a need because of like your situation? Like, I've got to do this because I need money for my kids and the house, and I want to get these things.
My entertainment company was definitely to support myself and my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But coaching is this new passion that I have of, hey, if I can change my circumstances, I thought my life would never change. I thought my life was over. I thought the story had ended, was closed. I mean, I was completely hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely changed my situation around because I decided to get up. That's one of the things I say to women, like, get up, mama. You have to get up. That's what I would tell myself when I didn't want to live anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I thought my life was over. The fairy tale that I thought I was living or had hoped for and had bought into essentially ended. It became a nightmare.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, life is life. I guess that's the only way to explain it. It's a roller coaster, ups and downs, and the important part is how you get through it.
Absolutely.
And I love that. That's when it clicked, for me, and Danelle was like, yeah, I think, Lindsay, she's doing this. We didn't know what it was at first, I got to be completely honest. She's like, I think Lindsay's doing this, like, women thing. Like, I don't know if it's like a strong women thing. I don't know if she's just like talking to people. And so when I had seen your Facebook, and when I saw all the, the Get Up Mama, and then the Keep Dreaming was the other big, like, I was like, ooh, yeah, that's good.
Yes, absolutely. It's those two things. It's we want to, myself, before I would get up every morning when I didn't want to, I would tell myself, get up, mama, you have babies waiting for you, you're waiting for you, you have to get up.
Mm-hmm.
Just get up. And now it's that, okay, I'm getting up, now what? Keep dreaming. You can dream again.
Yeah.
Life doesn't end when one chapter ends.
Right.
The story isn't over there.
Yeah, it's just turning the page. It's starting a new chapter. And it could be good things too. I mean, Danelle and I struggled with even, a normalcy or a good thing of like moving. We knew we wanted to do certain things, but that's a struggle. And it's either you got the things with us as a couple, but that individually you got to get on your own plane,
Totally.
So, do you feel that it's easier now, or are you still kind of piecing things together, or?
Oh man, so you mean after being divorced?
Yeah, once you kind of like said, this is what I'm going to do,
yeah,
and you've been doing it for a little bit now. What is it easier for you to do it? Are you finding things are kind of clicking now?
Yeah, definitely. So I've been divorced almost 3 years.
Okay.
My children are 5 and 3.
Okay.
And things are definitely, gosh, I think it's hard to say things are easier. I think I've learned how to manage more better or more efficiently. I'm able to. My capacity has increased.
Okay.
And I've learned how to navigate life. Like, I've made friends with uncertainty.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that I tell people is if you can make friends with uncertainty, you're going to be fine. And I love it so much because Women of Character really encompasses me as a whole person, because I talk a lot about entertainment and how entertainment has really trained me or provided me a lot of good tools for life. So, as an improv actor, as an atmosphere entertainment character sometimes, or any kind of actor, you have improv. And in improv, we have the yes and principle.
Yep.
And I love this principle so much because if we take that and apply it to life, we can say, okay, I'm getting a divorce. Instead of fighting it and resisting so much, spending energy there, I can say yes, and now what?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so I have lost a family member really close to me. Yes, and now what? Life doesn't stop there. Like, we keep going. We can't, in improv, we can't say, I don't like what my partner's giving me. I don't like the material I'm receiving. We have to keep going or the show stops.
Right. Yeah, that part of it's not your choice.
Absolutely.
And the rest of it is. And that's really important. I learned that when I lost my father in 2019. He was 63. And
wow.
It was one of those, I didn't think I was ever coming out. Like, I will assume that I was undiagnosed clinically depressed.
Yes.
But I was like, this is life now. Like, if I go out, I go out. I kind of don't care. And it was the first time in my life that I went to therapy.
Wow.
And it was still kind of that, like, taboo word, And I'm loving that now, 4 years later, people go to therapy when they're okay. They're just like, I gotta go talk some stuff out. Like, and I think that's so important. So are you in that realm of kind of like therapy things? Are you like holding events? Are you going and speaking? Are you just doing like one-on-one sessions with women or?
Yeah, well, I also think that that's a great question just to clarify, because some women come to me and I hop on a call with them first to see if we're a good fit to work together because I'm not a therapist and some people need more of that work.
Right.
And I'm not, a lawyer. So some women have come to me, they're in the middle of a divorce. I'm like, hey, hey babe, let's talk after because, you'll probably need a good support system, but now's not the time for us to dream. Now you got to work. Mm-hmm. We'll dream later. So I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, not a therapist.
Right.
But
so is it like you can you or do you like motivational speakers? We had an episode with a friend of mine that's Kate Garnes, you may know her. She worked at Disney as well, and she's a motivational speaker and author and stuff now. So she goes to schools and events to talk to teens.
Yeah, amazing.
So is that something that you're currently doing? Not, obviously not teens necessarily, but are you trying to get out there to do like a live event or a conference?
Yes. The goal is definitely to speak more about this and to do a live event. I'm hoping to do one in the spring. But now I've done one group program and I do one-on-one coaching with women. I walk them through a series of 16 weeks, 4-month program that I've created that essentially I worked backwards from myself. How did I get from here to here?
Yeah.
And I went back to the beginning and wrote a 16-week program that I walk women through.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And that's something that are there brief, you said you're working on a website, so will that be something that you kind of like cliff notes on the website to not, give away too much, but are you going to have that kind of available or? Yeah,
absolutely. So now it's just one-on-one, I'll Zoom with clients and we talk throughout the week as well. But in the future, it'll be a course. And then of course, speaking, is the goal as well. Perfect.
And it's a silly question, but sometimes, it kind of works both ways, but how much is it helping you to help others?
Oh, that's the thing. Giving back is so fulfilling. I will get off a call and I'm like, wow, like it gives pain or gives purpose to the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So the pain that I experienced, like I'm grateful for it now. I can fully say that. That's not an act. That's not.
Right.
No, I can fully say I'm grateful because if I can get on a call with a woman and say, hey, baby, like I know that you think life is over and I know that you are completely hopeless and depleted, but I also know that you will be fulfilled and rejuvenated and hopeful and you'll be able to dream again much faster than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible to be able to tell people because I've experienced it myself.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that can be more powerful because again, like you've gone through things and it's not their specific situation. Every divorce or every death or every whatever is never the same.
No.
But the relation and knowing that somebody is out there and understands is huge.
Yes.
You said you have couple of businesses, and with the
Yeah.
entertainment, is there any, does that help fulfill too? You know, back to the performing days, of course, that's kind of how we met at Disney.
Yeah, it is.
That's a different type of giving, you know, that's a,
It is. Yeah.
so is that satisfying, that part of it? Are you still kind of, are you more managing? Are you performing at all, or?
Yeah, yes, I'm still performing. I definitely enjoy the managing side of things and the creative, like production of the entertainment piece. I'm really enjoying being creative. I will, it's funny. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, you're doing so many different things." I'm like, "Yes, my creative soul cannot just do one thing. I refuse."
Yeah.
So it's learning to do it all well. It is a balancing act, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, once an artist, always an artist, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, it's giving back in a different way. And I feel like my entertainment company and the success that I had there, or rather, like, I mean, it is success, I guess you could say that,
Mm-hmm.
that I found there did help me, evolve what women of character is. I feel like it gave me the ability to speak into other people's lives, saying, "Hey, I created something that worked for my situation, and you can do it too."
Yeah. Yeah. Do people, women that come to you, are they kind of in the same, have you helped them at all, like on a business aspect? Like, have they also touched them and been like, hey, how can I either get involved with you or get involved with, resources of that sort of thing to kind of, tell their story? Like they join you, not necessarily on a call, but like
Yeah.
you have that kind of community
Yeah,
feel?
I have. Yeah, absolutely. I have one client now who is also a single mom, and she's starting a business. So that's been kind of cool because we'll chat about the program and what I have laid out for her weekly, and then we'll also say, okay, and about business. So it's kind of fun. It's like it's fueling all the things. But I'm glad you asked that, because in creating women of character in a course, I was like, okay, I know there's a need here, but I'm not going to teach women how to manage or invest money yet. I'm not going to teach women how to open a business yet. I'm not a therapist. I'm not, I was like, how? What
Right.
am I helping women with? And I was like, well, really at the end of it and at the root of it, how did I change my circumstances? And I was like, it was with my character.
Mm-hmm.
My core character and values and virtue, which I think is hard to find these days in the world, right? Everyone's
Yep.
so focused on their outward appearance.
Yep, and self and
God, exactly. Yep. But my core character is what helped me keep getting up, perseverance, patience, persistence, all of those things. So I was like, that's what I can help women on, their core character. Because if you get your core character and values in line, everything else just domino effects.
It's once you get some wind in your sails, the water helps out and keeps pushing you. So
absolutely. And that just goes back to, like we talked about, we both worked at Disney, and I love, my favorite movie in the whole world is Cinderella, the live action version.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And her "have courage and be kind" phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And just like how people underestimate just kindness. But just that whole character piece, of course, I love Cinderella. But so I kind of bring in, like we were talking about earlier, I bring in entertainment principles like the improv yes and, my experience opening a business. I really bring all that into the coaching program that I have.
Nice. So was kind of, not restarting, but going back to the start, was there a moment, like, was it a moment of, I'm done feeling this way and I need to do something about it? Was it somebody that stepped in to help you that gave you the momentum to do this? Or how did you get to where you are now out of all the crap?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I actually met a friend who owned a business and was also a single parent. And when I met this friend, I just remember being in this place of, my life is over. This is all it's ever going to be. I'm
Mm-hmm.
stuck. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, but my hands are tied. I can't do this. I can't do that. It was a bunch of I can't.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of life happening to me
Mm-hmm.
and me not making life happen for me. And this friend kind of challenged me, like, yeah, you can do more. Like, you should start a business, or like they had so much personal self-worth and this assuredness about them that I was like, what is that? Right?
I want some of that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, please give me some of that. And truly, I remember just being at this point of friction, right? Like, I've also grown to just appreciate friction. Like, okay, something always good comes out of it if you just kind of work with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I was at this like extreme point of friction, and I just remember sitting on my brother and sister-in-law's couch and like, what on earth am I gonna do? I wanted to open a franchise, had no cash. I wanted to be with my kids more, so I didn't want to go get a 9-to-5 job.
Right.
Anytime I leave the entertainment industry, I crave it even more.
Yep.
And I'm sure you understand that.
Yep. Yep. I hate all the no's for castings, but as soon as you get that one, you're like, ooh, this is how I do it.
Absolutely. You're hooked. You're hooked. So yeah, I remember sitting on their couch just being like, what do I know how to do? I was like, well, I know how to be a princess. And it's funny, my first ever business plan was for Once Upon a Party.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote that back in college, which was a long time ago, but I won in my business class for my business proposal.
Okay.
And so it was so cool to see 10 years later how little Lindsay way back then had this little dream of this little business.
Right.
And it significantly changed my life. I never would have thought that I'd be here.
Yeah. It's very cool though that the past of that is able to help project you into the future.
Yeah,
whereas,
definitely.
9 times out of 10, people either go to college or go to school to get something like, I'm never going to use this, and they don't.
Yeah, it's true.
I knew I was going to be an actor when I was like 2 years old, but I still went to college and got my business administration and management and theater degrees, and I was like, just in case, I guess.
I know.
And it's hard because, I don't fall into the camp of a lot of actors like, well, if you're not full actor, full on, and if you have a plan B, then you're setting yourself up for failure because you're already ready for failure. I'm like,
right.
Here's the deal. I also recognize the logistics and how real life is for actors. And if I have this business degree and theater degree and management degree,
yes,
then I can open my own theater, open my own production company, know how business runs because you as an actor are your own business. So
absolutely. I love that you're saying that because I it's that principle of like, oh, you're not really full in then. No, I don't think it's that. I just think you're being very strategic.
Mm-hmm.
And I've fallen in love with strategy, and especially coming from my personal position, which is not everyone's, but my personal position is I'm a single mom. It's me.
Right.
So, I am trying to make sure, you better believe I'm trying to make sure that I have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right. It's that improv principle where at any point in time we need to pivot.
Yeah, you have to be ready.
Absolutely.
I mean, you talked improv earlier with the yes and, but improv with zip zap zop, right? It sounds like a fun, cool game. And for those that don't know, for those of you who don't know yes and, Lindsay gave examples earlier where it's like something is told to you and you're like yes, and then you add to it. Zip zap zop is a fun kind of physical game where you're usually pointing to somebody. You stand in a circle and you point and you go zip zap zop. You don't break that chain, but it's whoever you're looking at says the next, and you try to keep it going. So if I look at Lindsay, I say zip, she says zap, she looks at somebody, they say zop. But you can move your arms, legs, or whatever you want in any direction to distract. but it's always where your eyes are. It's whatever your eyes have focused on. So with that being said, the zip, zap, zop is to throw you off a little bit, but it doesn't. You got to keep that focus. And you definitely have. So how important, since you are the first kind of real businesswoman we've had on the podcast, and since you are a single mother, how important is your support system?
Oh my gosh, so important.
Like,
oh man,
is it a matter of, what percentage would be family? What percentage is friends? What percentage is clients / strangers / random?
Oh man. I'm trying to think about how to answer that question most efficiently. I live, pretty far from where all my work is. Like, I have a commute that's an hour 15.
Okay.
And that's because I have family here where I live, and so many friends that I grew up with who now also have children as well. So we're like all raising our, kids together, which is a beautiful thing. So I know that if my family can't help, my parents, that I also have, friends who, I might not see them all the time, but if there's an emergency, my kids will be taken care of.
Right.
And I've also recently had a change in my family that they can't help as much anymore.
Okay.
So that actually happened. My largest client started back in the fall, and the day after we had, some major family changes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have this whole month and a half of my biggest client to fulfill, and I have no childcare. So, it was incredible to see my team step up. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible to see, I really didn't even work that much. But because I had poured into this company that I created, I didn't even have to be there.
Nice.
It was amazing. I was so thankful. And it was also just, I learned, again, back to yes and. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is happening. Now what? I'm not going to say I don't panic, because we all do, every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I've learned how to not stay there for very long. And that's what I teach, again, women who come to me. Hey, we can be angry, sad, depressed, panicked, but let's not stay there. Let's stay there for the least amount of time, and we got to keep moving. Acknowledge it. We're not going to ignore it, brush it under the rug, but now we got to problem solve.
Yeah.
Like we say yes, just like we say to our clients, yes, we can make that happen for you. How? No idea, but we're going to make it happen.
We'll figure it out.
Same thing with, when I had family changes. Okay, now what? Things don't throw you off as much.
Yeah. And I think that is so super huge. And it doesn't matter whether you are able to be near family or it's just recognizing. I think so many of us are so, again, the whole taboo thing of going to therapy or talking about problems, because even if you're the most kind-hearted person, like my wife, she doesn't want to talk about problems because she doesn't want to burden somebody else.
Yeah.
Or, but recognizing that you can reach out, that there are people like you to go to and say, here's what I've been through, and I do not have all the answers, but I can give you some kind of map to look at least. If you're lost and spinning in circles, here's a map.
Exactly.
Let's figure out where to go.
And I love that you said that, because that is what happens. Mm-hmm. We spin, and that's what I was doing, constantly spinning, on that, I call it the hamster wheel. And when you start to recognize, oh, I'm on the hamster wheel, you can hop off. Mm-hmm. And you've got to hop off, or you're just going to, drive yourself to insanity. But I think also realizing that life can be hard,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Life is hard. There's always, even after one thing I think sometimes we expect, not even that we expect life to be easy, but I feel like I was raised, or not in my upbringing from my parents, but just in general. I think I grew up maybe with that fairy tale mindset of like, anytime challenge would come up, I would shrink back. Okay. Anytime I was faced with, I did not know how to see challenge and keep going forward. So I'm learning that, I think, a bit later in life, which, hey, at least I'm learning it, right?
Yeah, there's no age appropriate for lessons.
No, so true.
Where did you grow up? You're currently in, so for those that want to reach out, or that like, hey, I'm a face-to-face person, you're in Florida, correct?
Yep, I'm in Florida. Yep.
Born and raised, or did you move there for Disney?
We moved around a good bit, but most of my life has definitely been in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for those that want to reach out when we give out all the information, you're not expecting that she's like in New York or something.
No, I'm in Florida. Yes. Yeah.
So you kind of still have always had that same support system and things. Is that challenging at all? Do you find it hard to kind of run into the same people or the same situations? Like if 5 women that are divorced and single moms come to you, is that how tough is that on you, or do you find it easier?
Oh man, I think it's not. It's hard as an empath. I definitely identify myself as an empath, and I think that serves me as a performer. I feel like when I jump into a role, like I can really feel what that character feels.
Right.
Like if I watch a scary movie, which I can't truly, I'm like scared for days, right? Because I'm experiencing it like it's happening to me.
Right.
So same thing with when someone tells me something sad or they're going through something, I can feel that so deeply. So I've learned to, in life and in coaching, not let emotions run the show. That doesn't mean I'm cold.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been a big revelation for me in life. I'm not emotionless. I'm not cold.
Right.
But they're not in charge.
Right. Kind of that survival thing, the whole, I used to laugh at it as a teenager when I was, immature, but like when you're on a plane and like, put your mask on before helping somebody else, I'd be like, oh, cool, well, let me fumble with this while you die. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But then as you get older, you realize, no, if you can't help somebody that really needs your help and you're gone, you take care of yourself real quick and then help somebody else. So it's the same, in my mind, it's the same idea of if you're bumbling with all these emotions and whatever, you can't help somebody because you've got to deal with yours first or your empathy first.
Absolutely. Well, emotions can be misleading, right? Like that, like how can you really make a sound decision from a place of, deep emotion? You can't.
No.
You let the emotion run its course, run through you. We don't make big decisions in a place of anger, panic, sadness.
Yeah.
We work through that, set it to the side, and okay, now it's business time. What do we need to do?
Yeah, and that's really important. And I've kind of done that. Danelle and I have done that all of our time together.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. We've been together for 24 years, but
wow.
but we've had our moments where we get upset with each other, but we also know it was kind of unspoken. We're never going to raise our voices to each other. Obviously, I will never raise a hand or anything.
Yeah.
We both go silent. And I feel like it's what you were just describing as, let's deal with our crap now.
Yes.
Before I say something I can't take back, let me be quiet.
Yes.
Let me do this. And then, hey, let's talk. Okay.
Absolutely. So in motherhood specifically, I tell my kids that, hey, Mommy's frustrated right now. I'm getting angry, so Mommy's going to go put herself in timeout. Or Mommy needs some space. Right now, I'm going to cook dinner by myself because I need some space. And they're like, you need some space, Mommy? Yes, baby, I need some space. And they can say it too, and I respect their boundary. And that's what they say. They'll tell me, hey, Mommy, I just need some space right now. No problem, sugar. Let me know when you're ready to talk.
You've got 2 very intelligent kids growing up. because they are eons ahead for their ages. So congratulations on that. I think you're doing an excellent job, especially by yourself with that, because
thanks.
They're gonna have that foundation of, okay, let's figure this out, and let's feel your feelings.
Definitely.
It's not bad, but
nope.
Yeah, that's on the more playful side. How much do you enjoy the entertainment? So are you with Disney anymore? Are you with any theme parks there in Orlando anymore? Or
okay, yeah, I was like, are we going to talk about all this? So I'm not with Disney anymore. I left back in 2017 when I had my first baby.
Okay.
And I'm still at Universal.
Okay.
I've been there for 7 years now, which is wild. So that's where I commute to.
Okay.
So I'm managing that. I commute there a couple days a week, and then I have my Once Upon a Party business, Women of Character coaching,
Mm-hmm.
And then we're also starting to do more luxury events.
Oh, cool.
Well.
Meaning like weddings and bar mitzvahs and.
No. You can't pay me to do a wedding. Like absolutely not. No. I'm starting to do, luxury entertainment and events. So definitely working with corporate clients. If you want us to come in and create, themed entertainment that really suits your brand.
Oh, okay.
We will do that. So we will have everything, your music, your talent, your what the actors are saying, what the actors are wearing. It's all going to reflect your brand.
Nice.
So just a cohesive branding luxury entertainment. So we're starting to offer.
Nice. If you ever need a scriptwriter, let me know.
Oh, hey, you got it.
I mean, we're in Atlanta, but we can do the remote thing.
Oh, absolutely.
What's that company called, or going to be called, or is it?
That's called Monroe.
Okay.
That is Monroe Luxury Entertainment and Events.
Awesome. Anything up yet on that social media website yet, or?
Nope. Brand new baby. A few opportunities there that will hopefully produce in the fall. And then we'll launch that more.
So you're kind of getting the scoop here first.
Yes, truly. I think I've only told a couple people who are working with me on that. So that's pretty hush, but
Nice. We have a little bit. This isn't coming out tomorrow, so we have some time.
Oh yeah.
What is that satisfying for you? I mean, so you have your hands in these different things, and you get to play mama, you get to perform a bit, you get to play manager and business owner and founder. Which one is kind of your favorite?
Oh man. Well, I was not 100% sure that I wanted to have kids.
Okay.
But I was, quote unquote, what I thought getting older, and I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, like we should do this. I'm getting older.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I'm so thankful. I adore being a mother. It has completely changed me, and they have made me who I am. They've given me purpose and passion and vision and reason. Like, they are my why.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a beautiful journey. Tough.
Yeah, I bet.
Very tough.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart. It's not.
It does. It takes, it's one of those, like I always tell people, it's funny because Danelle and I have always gone up and back.
Yeah.
And we're a little older than you are, but you could ask me on one day, I'd be like, yeah, well, let's have kids. And Danelle would be like, I don't know, we're doing this. And then the next day she'll be like, you know what? Yeah, let's have it. And I'll be like, I kind of don't. It's at finding, because it's not like you can pick a number and save, $1 million and then we'll have a kid, or.
No, it's so true.
And it's.
Well, and
go ahead.
And I'm sure this was one of the talking points you guys had together was, and every other career has its pros and cons too of why it's maybe hard to have children. But in entertainment, it's hard to have children. So that's also why I've gone the route I've gone in entertainment. I'm not going to take an overseas contract.
Right.
I can't just go film a movie in wherever.
Yep.
I am a little limited because I'm choosing to be. I want to raise my children myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put them in daycare. God bless, I've never been. That's fine, but that's not what I want.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
Bravo.
So thank you. Yeah, I'm tired. It's all good.
Very rare. Yeah.
So that's not what I wanted for my kids. So that's why, again, I've created my own opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, just where I'm running right now. I don't even remember the original question you asked me, but I enjoy all the things.
Mm-hmm. What if there's something that was your favorite, you kind of lean
My
towards
favorite.
the mom, yeah.
Well, I think that's why I do so many different things. I can't choose.
Yeah. Yeah, I always tell people, like, the saying back in the day used to be jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
I find myself like, I don't necessarily like that. I'm not mastered at anything, but I like multi-hyphenated. So I'm a husband, I'm an actor, I'm a puppy dad, I'm craft beer drinker, a podcaster.
Did you watch Mr. Rogers growing up?
I did.
They have the new animated series, Daniel Tiger. Have you seen it at all?
I have not. No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That show, I'm telling you, single-handedly taught my children emotional intelligence before I was doing it.
Wow.
I'm so thankful to the writers of that show. I highly recommend it. But it's essentially, his same principles and characters, but it's an animated version for today. And one thing that they sing and talk about is you can be more than one thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that because, like you just listed off, I'm a mom, I'm a business owner, I'm a creative, I'm a performer. Like, we don't have to choose just one thing.
Right.
What if our goal was to become a master in all of them? Like, or to at least attempt.
Right. You could. You very well could. It would take time and lots of effort and everything. But and it's hard because gone are the days. I mean, again, there's a little difference between age for us. But like when I grew up, it was almost expected. You're going to get a job. You're going to get married. You're going to have kids. You're going to have a house. This is where you're going to be.
Oh, definitely.
And so Danelle and I broke that mold for sure because we were the first, in air quotes I'm doing, the first to leave the state of Illinois, leave Chicago, and leave our families and be like, we're going to go do this, and be artists, I've been an actor, but I also have worked in a bank and I've worked in carpentry and I've done these different things where I was just like, I'm making money and I'm making great money in the bank, but I don't like it. No. Like, I'm not happy. I'm paying for our wedding, or, we both did, but like I was making good money to pay for our wedding. And now it's like, but I'm not happy. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what? Big deal. Once the goal is met, it's like, all right, well, I'm out of here because, and it's awesome because you kind of have done the same thing where you set the goals. You find this is what you want and this is what you have. So, all right, we'll lean into this, and now we'll lean into this. And
absolutely.
What made you kind of lean towards now with the new luxury coming up? Was it something that you felt you weren't fulfilling, or that there was an over need that you could fulfill, or?
Yeah. So Once Upon a Party is geared. How I started it's character entertainment. It geared more towards children's entertainment, and it's things that I've been doing for years, and I just wanted something new and different and something that I've created myself. So I just wanted to separate the two businesses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just one is more family friendly kids, and then this one is high end luxury corporate adult.
Right.
So just two different things. So
branch out and make sure that you're kind of covering all bases type of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Just it's for a different client, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah,
chapter two.
Well, yeah, and it's it's that performer, it's that actor where, sometimes you're the bad guy, sometimes you're the, this, sometimes you're the funny guy, so it's just the different roles, the roles we play,
Absolutely.
Growing up with Disney, it's what skills did you have? So now you're taking the lessons in life and creating your own skills. You're not a driver or a parade captain and performer or stilt walker, but now you're, managing this and performing here. And...
I also found that performers can very struggle with this. They're like, I don't have much of a resume. I've been acting for all these years.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do. I don't know who I am. I mean, I hear this all the time,
Yeah.
and we do age. Hello, it happens.
Yeah.
So the roles that we maybe were 10 years ago are not the roles we should be playing now. It's just how it goes.
Right.
And that can be tough. So I've also been telling performers like, no. The tools you have learned as a performer can translate into any job. I tell my cast that, my team that, hey, this may sound like the things I'm teaching you as a performer might sound, silly, or you think, oh, this is a fun job for now. But I'm telling you, these skills I'm teaching you, you can take and use in any job or career path in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Especially things like that where you are kind of using, let's just call it improv, because it is, but in the sense of awareness, like just knowing your surroundings,
Absolutely.
You could, and not to lean in anything necessarily negative, but like the world we live in, you kind of really need to be more aware of your surroundings.
True.
And so
it's the truth.
Being playful, it's like, are you going to knock over a kid? Are you trying to get down on one knee to be on their level? Which, okay, as you learn, whether it's Disney or your company or something where it's like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, so we're small like little kids, so they're not afraid. Yeah, well, now apply it to life. You get down to next somebody in a wheelchair. They're not a kid, but now they're talking to you. They don't have to strain. They feel more comfortable. So it's the same thing, just different situation.
Absolutely. Well, we could both name off a million things that we've learned in entertainment that can go to the real world. I mean, like we talked about, yes, and reading the room, being very aware of your surroundings, learning how to speak to people of any type of background, ethnicity, religion, people who speak the same language or don't. People who deaf, mute, like anybody, like you're able to learn as a performer how to communicate with everyone, and that's a big deal. So I hate when people don't give enough weight to that. I'm like, no, you do have a solid resume. You can do anything.
Well, and it is hard. We struggled with it in our house here. Having been at the company for so long, there is a bubble, and totally. Metaphorically, where if you do walk out after 10, 12, 15, 16, 18, 20 years, and you only have the one thing, one company, and it sounds cool. I mean, having that on your resume is that starts stories. Yeah. But it's not the real world, again in air quotes, real world of computers and Microsoft and Excel, and can you do a spreadsheet, and can you do...
True.
Because you're not. You're performing, or maybe you're a trainer or something and you have an email and you know how to professionally talk to people. But that's it. So was it difficult for you to step out of the costumes and step into, let's just call it a business suit?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to, in college, I was a secretary and also got to book bands at my college. Okay. I helped book our concert series that we would have every semester.
Anybody really cool?
A lot of the same people that you would see at like Rock the Universe and Night of Joy. So it was Christian artists. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so
for King of Country and Chris Allen and
cool. Gosh, who was it back then? Gunger, who was big back then.
Jars of Clay.
Jars of Clay. Oh my gosh.
Newsboys.
Yeah, so that was cool. So I had a little bit of that secretarial experience, and I really enjoy networking. I find so much joy in networking. It's wild. Everyone's like, really? I'm like, yes.
I love it. I mean, that's why this podcast is here, is connection. You're getting the real me, and the stories are real, but it's just strengthening the bonds of all my guests. So
I love that.
Yeah.
It's such a need. I think people forget that, because we feel so connected on social media, but we're not at all.
But or we feel connected. I feel like we are only nowadays we're only connected when there's tragedy. You can
Yes, true.
all feel a 9/11. You can all feel a flash flood or tornadoes ripping through a city.
Yeah.
But on the everyday, you can't feel going to the grocery store. Like you can't feel
No.
pumping gas.
I
You
think
know.
that's a great question to ask ourselves, each other, the world. How can we be connected in the mundane
Mm-hmm.
more? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's so much of life is lived there.
Yeah, it's
You know,
it's true. It's only the rare
it's
occasions. I mean, it's so traumatic when the bigger things happen.
true.
But yeah, it happens so less than just
Yeah.
waking up. I mean, sometimes for some people, I mean, and from like your stories, for you, just
Yeah.
getting out of bed could be
Yes.
the accomplishment of the day.
Absolutely.
And in moments of like things that you went through, that's okay. You did get out
Totally.
of bed. You didn't stay there. You know.
No. And I could have. That's what I tell
Hmm.
you women. Like, you could be on the couch right now. You could be. Many people are. But you got up out of bed today. You're up. You're working that extra job to feed your children. Good for you. Like, it won't be like this forever, you know?
Right.
And you can do hard things. Oh, I lost my train of thought there. But,
No, but I mean, and you have been through so much, you know. With Cursology here, we have, like I said at the beginning, we have Tales,
yeah.
Tales, not Tales like a dog, but Tales like stories,
Yeah.
which is an acronym and stands for Tests, Adventures, Lessons, Entertainment, and Successes.
Love
Now,
it.
I could probably go through and probably answer probably 2 of these for you out of the 5.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But I'm going to let you answer.
Okay.
Starting with T for tests. What
Okay.
is one of the biggest tests that you have been through currently in life?
Ooh, currently. Oh man. So currently, I think it's running a business.
Yeah.
There's lots of new challenges I'm learning there that I haven't learned yet.
And do you feel like you are evenly spread with your 3? Like you're 33 and a third, 33 and a third, 33 and a third, and a little bit for yourself? Or is something
Um,
pulling you more one direction? I mean, I would assume the Monroe will be more now because you're starting it.
that's true. That's true. Honestly, I think maybe the answer is it's all spread pretty evenly. And maybe also seasonal. You know, entertainment can be seasonal.
Yeah.
And we're kind of in a slow season now. And so I'm picking other things up and just kind of in a slow season of planning everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, everything essentially. My entertainment company's only been around for 2 years.
Okay.
In coaching, I started about a year ago now. So all my things, including my children, are like in this infant stage. I'm like, can one of you grow up and blossom here?
Right. I need a little assistance.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
little comfortability.
Yeah.
What about adventures? You know, you've gone through a lot, you've overcome a lot, but has there
Yeah.
been what's the biggest adventure you've had?
Oh man. Well, motherhood, I would definitely say.
Yeah.
That's it's quite an adventure. But I have actually done a decent amount of traveling, not overseas, but it's been incredible. I'm like, I did not think as a single mom I'd be able to travel as much as I have. I took myself to the beach. I'm going to California, to Disneyland for the first time next week.
Hey, the other coast. Yay.
I know, the other coast. I'm so excited. Yeah, and I've been able to do a couple other fun trips, so I'm thankful for that.
That's
But
awesome. Again, like
yeah.
I said before, self-care is important.
This is true.
It doesn't have to be Europe. It doesn't even have to be California. It could be a
No.
massage. It could be reading a book and a glass of wine or beer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about lessons? If you had to pick, because the episode is all lessons to me, like, which is awesome because you can thrive off that. But if you had to pick 1 or 2 of your favorites that you've learned, what would that be?
Yeah, I definitely think it's. I definitely think a main theme for me is the story isn't over until you say it is.
Very powerful.
You know, that whole mindset, like we talked about. I thought my fairy tale was over.
Mm-hmm.
was like, wait a second. If you just flip the page, there's a brand new fresh page and a pen waiting for you. What on earth are you going to write? You can write anything. What is it going to be?
Yeah, I like it. Danelle and I can relate because we used to have a quote that she painted up in our living room at our house in Orlando before we moved. I don't know if you remember Natasha Bedingfield, the singer.
Oh, yeah.
And her song was Unwritten.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And the line of, live your life with arms wide open. The rest. I can't think of the lyrics. The bottom line was the rest is still unwritten.
Yes.
Was the last part of that lyric, and that's so true. It's that visual of you turning the page, and the rest is still unwritten. You can put whatever you want in that chapter or that book.
Yes, absolutely.
So long as hopefully it's not a period.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Miss Entertainment Business Owner,
Ooh.
What do you find entertaining?
Oh man.
Yeah, this is my personal favorite question because we've had so many different answers. I'm not gonna lead you either way. So
I was gonna say you can answer that a million different ways. Oh man.
You wake up, you have the day to yourself. You have 24 hours.
Okay.
And you can do whatever you want. What is the entertaining? You got to nourish yourself. You're gonna relax yourself. But what do you find entertaining, fun?
Ooh man. I like to be active, so anything that's like on the water, physical. I like to kickbox. I like to kayak. I like to paddleboard.
Cool.
So maybe we can say if I had a free day,
mm-hmm.
I would probably go take a stunt class or an aerial class today.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I always want to learn new performing skills.
If you ever do that, please let me know. I think I've passed my peak of being able to do that physically.
No.
But I've always wanted, this is going to sound so weird, but as a kid, through teens, through 20s, maybe as I hit my 30s, I was like, maybe not. I'm going to hurt something. But I've always wanted to be thrown through a window.
Oh my gosh.
It's so odd. It's so random. But yeah. So if you ever do it, please keep me posted. Let me know.
Yeah.
Send the videos, send the pictures. But yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. So you did answer it. I don't want you necessarily to say the same thing, but you can. It is your episode, your show. But S for tails. Success.
Okay.
What is your definition of success, and have you achieved it yet?
Ooh, okay. I think the overall answer to this is I struggle with this because I can get my view skewed. So great question. Good job. Definition of success. I mean, my definition of success, like I do find myself successful because I do want to be with my children as much as I can, and I'm accomplishing that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so happy. And I think that's success. I have found enough courage and self-worth within myself to go after all the things I've ever wanted to do.
Nice.
And try. And I'm just happy to have those opportunities. I just have a spirit of gratitude I try to live from.
Mm-hmm.
Always. So view of success. Oh, that's such a massive question.
But I mean, you did answer it. I mean, it's. I try to lead guests to give me a specific, because if you don't, then everybody kind of gets stuck. They're like, I don't know.
It's true.
But there's nothing wrong with that, with your state, with any answer. But your statement of general, like, you're happy. Like, everybody's definition of success, everybody's definition of happiness is different. Now, the little asterisk I'll add to yours is, it also sounds like from our chat that you realize that happiness comes from within, from you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that is a huge key as well, because a lot of people are like, oh, when I buy this car, I'll be happy. Or when I have this job, I'll be happy. When I have $1 million. Or, we look to our friends, our spouses, our family to make us happy. And
Absolutely.
they can't. Danelle can do things to make me happy, to things I like, buy me my favorite beer, or, say or do things to me, whatever, with me that I find happy, but I still have to find the happiness in it.
Absolutely.
So I think you are successful because you realize that, and like you said, you're happy, like plain and simple.
Well, and it's all stuff. It's all like even my business,
Mm-hmm.
It's that could go away tomorrow. I'd still be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids could be gone tomorrow. I'd still be like, I'm still grateful. Oh, I did have that company. I have had the opportunity to raise and be with my children for the time. I'm just grateful for everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that comes from.
And that attitude of gratefulness and appreciation gets you farther than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay, I think you're really doing an awesome thing with the women of character, and
thank you.
And showing too, even with entertainment, which is more of my leaning. Since you talk more to women, you don't really talk to guys, but I could do the entertainment part for you. But I lean towards that. But I think you having that diversity too, I think is so ironically cool, because instead of just always, oh, I'm a businesswoman, here's what I'm doing, which is stereotyped, and I hate it.
Yeah.
But you have then an entertainment and kind of like the fun job too that you own and created, and that sort of thing, where it's like, see the two sides. You can be professional, you can be that thing, but you can have fun, and you can be the fun mommy, and you can that sort of stuff. I don't know. Is there anything that we left out that you wanted to share, or?
Oh, I don't think so. I think I've talked your ear off, but I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so excited to hear more from you, but also I know you're going to interview or chat with some amazing people, and I'm excited to learn from other people that you're going to have on here. So I'm looking forward to other episodes.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate it. It's the one thing of the episode. I guess I used to say hate. I'm not going to use the word hate anymore. I dislike, because it's a necessary evil of, everybody listening, everybody watching on the video, like, subscribe, do all the things. Like Lindsay said, kind of follow along, see what's coming, because we do have some awesome episodes that are already out, that are coming out. I eventually think I'll have to do, you're about the 5th person now to, I want to know about you. And it's like,
hey, I'll interview you back.
I'll have to do my own episode where I do my own tales and all that sort of stuff. But
you'll have to, maybe just you and Danelle could talk.
Yeah, we kind of did that on the first one when we launched the podcast.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of, I don't know, messing around, I guess, to see if we could do it, and testing equipment and all that sort of stuff. So
no, you're doing it.
So it's there. But thank you so much. I definitely value our time. I appreciate you taking your time away from your sleeping kids, but kids, your time, mommy time would be now.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here. Everybody, please make sure that you're following, you're looking out for that Monroe Entertainment coming, and the Women of Characters is on social media, and things are coming, and of course, Once Upon a Party as well. If you're in the Orlando area or in Florida, however far you reach, I don't know, at least reach out to Lindsay and say, hey, I'm in Miami, can you do it? See what she says. Don't know. But everybody, check Lindsay out online on social media and everything. I'll put it all in the show notes so that you can click easier. But thank you very much for being here.
Absolutely.
I do appreciate it. And everybody else, we'll see you at the next episode. Continue to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you soon.